The Northern Provinces edition of the A Nation United National Mission was held this afternoon at the Jaffna Technical College in Cockville. These national missions have been organized across the island to curb the proliferation of narcotics island-wide. Government ministers, members of the security forces, police officers, government officials and a large number of local residents participated in the program. President Dissanayake, who attended the event, received a warm welcome from those present. The President also presided over the presentation of cash rewards from the Police Reward Fund to police officers who carried out successful raids against narco-trafficking.
As a country, we have many hopes and dreams. However, an overwhelming challenge looms over our hopes and dreams, threatening its realization. That challenge is the proliferation of narcotics. The wealth and power generated by the trade of narcotics have infiltrated state infrastructure. We know this because some convicts engage in the distribution of narcotics behind bars. We acknowledge that the police force is doing an outstanding job. However, a few bad apples in the police force are entangled in these nefarious networks. Moreover, we have identified certain key government employees who have fallen prey to these networks of organized crime. Some of those state workers have been arrested. This industry prospered primarily due to political refuge. In some electorates, the personal branding of some politicians was closely linked to the narcotics they peddled. The people of this country have now formed a government that will never provide political refuge to the distribution of narcotics. We have also uncovered that certain heads of institutions tasked with curbing the proliferation of narcotics have unfortunately engaged themselves in criminal activity. On certain occasions, evidence filed in court has been manipulated to let suspects go free. Certain officers at the top of law enforcement have been subdued by the power of the narco trade. Therefore, the government must defeat this crisis. I guarantee that these efforts will never be reversed. Is this challenge one that must be overcome? Yes, we must overcome it. We will never allow racial conflicts to take root ever again. We are aware that minor incidents of racism pop up here and there. Certain conflicts have arisen over religious sites. We will never allow racism to raise its head ever again. I understand that many Northerners must be seeing me for the first time. Please know that we have embraced you with love and respect. We have committed ourselves to maintaining the trust you have placed in us. The Northern sentiment in the past was one that demanded a separate state. This is because the North thought that the South had its own government. The North never felt that the government in the South was also theirs. However, we must also be aware that even Southern citizens were marginalized by previous regimes. Previous governments were formed in the interest of a few families. For the very first time, a people's government has been formed. People in the North and the South have faith in the same government today.
Meanwhile, the inauguration ceremony of the 2026 National Housing Programme was held this morning at the Veerasingham Primary School grounds in Meesale, Chavakacheri under the patronage of President Dissanayake. At the ceremony, construction of 2,500 houses were initiated, while housing assistance too was provided for the resettlement of families displaced by the war in the northern and eastern provinces. The President later attended a groundbreaking ceremony of a house funded under this initiative. Meanwhile, President Dissanayake visited the ancient Nagadipa Rajamahaviharaya this afternoon. The President subsequently met with the chief incumbent of the temple, Venerable Navadagala Padmakirti Tissatero.